welcome to the channel. This is Adam with ND72. So today, we're starting off in my 2003 Slk32 AMG. So we're starting this video out a little bit different than we normally start our videos out because we're already in the car with the product installed that we're going to be talking about today. Okay, a little bit weird. You might be asking why. Mainly because to install this product, it takes literally seconds to do. A lot of people already know how to do it because a lot of people already have this product. This product is a very common product, but what we're going to be discussing today is the manufacturer is different than a lot of people are used to going to. So today we're talking about TCUs. So with this 5-speed automatic transmission, you have a few TCU people to go look at. I've tried quite a bit of them. I've tried Eurocharge, I've tried VTEC, I've tried TJ's, and now what we're trying today is late model 21's TCU. So some of the TCUs aren't bad, and some of them I will never go with again. Eurocharge, I will never go with theirs again. Mainly because it was in the car when I got the car, and then when I started adding some power, the car was having all these problems when you would floor it, like at a launch. And what I found out is the TCU they sold the previous owner was for a rear end. That was a 282 rear end, and it had no manual roll mode. And so you're getting all these problems. These rear ends, final drives, are 306s. So I didn't like that, and just the customer service with Eurocharge, they were just like, oh, you need to rebuy a whole new. I was like, whatever. So we went to the VTEC TCU setup on this car. Worked very well, super happy with it. But the only negative thing I would have to say about it, I mean, granted mine was 3 or 4 years old, it just had the 2 modes. Which that's okay. You had manual mode, which was when you were on the dyno, where you could put it in whatever gear you want, then you would floor it and it wouldn't go away. And then you had, for me, just winter mode, which was it would always start in second gear unless you manually put it in first gear. That was all okay. I ran 11.0s with those. The car was pretty fast with it. But I recently got contacted by late model 21, and we were talking a little bit, and I did buy a few products from them, hence the paddle conversion kit. They're the same people who did that. So if you don't know I'm talking about the paddle conversion kit, we're going to go over that a little bit. I made a previous video about it. But if you have a Slk32, 320, 32, any of the crossfires, or any of the C32s or C320, basically the W203 chassis stuff, they didn't in fact come with paddles, and he offered a conversion kit where you could get in there with either your factory wheel or something like I have, a full custom carbon fiber setup. And now, does it make the car any faster to get paddles? No, but it makes it more fun and more zippy. So we were talking, and he said he makes TCUs. I was like, oh, perfect. And I talked to him about, like, I didn't like only have 2 modes and this and that, and he was like, I got the fix for you. So his TCU actually has all 4 modes, and they are manual, agility, summer, and then comfort mode. All right. So most of you guys who have like an E55 and you got your TCU tuned, you knew about these modes, but for us people in the SLK world and the Crossfire world, we didn't have the luxury of having all those modes. Now we effing do. And the other issue that we always had, we had that toggle button, so it limited how people were able to program it. But with this one, you toggle that button back and forth and you get all your modes. Now let's talk about these modes. Now, you basically get your manual mode, which feels almost the same to the other manual modes, but a little bit different stuff. But then you also get your comfort mode and your sport mode, which you can easily tell which one of those. Comfort mode should always start in second gear, unless you manually override it, and it's more of a comfortable shifting. And then sport mode is going to be a little bit more aggressive, but both those modes will adapt to you. So I've been driving the car around for about 2 weeks. When I first got it, it was a little jerky, but it's by far better now. And then you got agility mode, which I didn't have before on this car. I have it on my SL55, and that is basically, like, in my opinion, the all end of, like, oh, if you want a sporty feel, you do agility mode, and it's supposed to never really adapt to you, from my understanding. It'll probably adapt to you a little bit, but it's supposed to be always aggressive shifting, aggressive patterns, you know, downshift early, so on and so forth, all that stuff. It all depends how they program it. And also with a TCU, you could change your RPM shift points if you really wanted to. You talk to late model 21, they'll make you a custom TCU of whatever you need. Okay, so we're gonna kind of show you how we get in and out of the modes. As you can see, we got our little toggle. And then as you toggle, the modes will change. Pretty easy, straightforward, not that hard to really understand. When you put it in winter mode, like on the button, it'll tell you what mode you're in, and then once you put it down to the sport mode on your little button, see how it'll tell you what gears you're at, and then you can always just downshift It'll display your gears and upshift. Pretty effing easy to use. All you do is go back and forth, put it whatever mode you're in. So super easy, super convenient, not that bad. But now we'll do some test pulls and see how fast it actually shifts in the most aggressive mode. Hey guys, do you have an Slk32 or an SL55 or any car with an M11 2K or M11 3K? Then I got a product especially for you guys that you're gonna like. What we got right here is Needs Wings modified surge tanks with crossover tubes, and they're fancy dress-up kit hardware. This unit right here will help performance and lower boost in your cars. They make them for M11 3s and M11 2Ks. Now, this product right here is what you need if you're thinking about running stack pulleys, more boost, or almost anything. This will drop your PSI down without losing any horsepower. So you know what that means? Better air intake temperatures, more actual horsepower, and safer for your motor. They bolt right up with no modifications, directly into your factory areas, allow you to actually have boost sensors back there, or run nitrous with a series of bungs. This is such a good product, and I got it on both of my cars. Now, what you might say is like, oh, that doesn't really add too much power. Well, I made a video proving it actually does. And look it, they actually make the engine bay pop, and it doesn't look too crazy. It looks almost factory. So if you're thinking about what your next performance mod should be for an M11 3 or an M11 2K motor, modified surge tanks are the way to go. Now, also, if people are still doubting their performance, I'm making a video where it's really showing how much boost drop you do with the same amount of power. And not to toot my own horn, but me, Adam at ND72, I have basically the world's fastest Slk32 in the world, and I'm not running a crazy pulley system. I am technically the second fastest, but the first if you don't count nitrous or meth. So, that kind of says it right there. And this car, all it really has done to it is stacked pulleys, which is a 178, a 65mm, long tube headers, tuning from VTEC, and a lot of Needs Wings parts. But these modified surge tanks were a big part of it to keep my boost down. On my motor, it dropped at 5 PSI, same power. So my temps went way down. So what I think, almost every M11K should have one of these, or you go top mounts, which I did that on my E55, but it's a lot more money. So if you're talking about money, you want to purchase one of these, you go to needswings.com. And if you want to save a little bit money, I got a 10% off coupon code for you. So you go to needswings.com, put your items in your basket, and then off the surge tanks, if you put, where'd you hear about it from, put ND_72. That'll get you 10% off surge tanks for M11 2Ks, M11 3Ks, and these cool intakes and crank pulleys for the M11 2K, and some intakes for a C32, and the list goes on. So next time you're on needswings.com, make sure you put anything you're purchasing, where'd you hear about us from, ND_72. You'll get 10% discounts on not all their items, but some of their items, and one of them is a modified surge tank set. So, hope you guys like it. Go make some purchases, and back to the video. Alright, so we got the car pretty much warmed up. We're just going to do a couple, first gear pull, so you'll see going to first and second, a 20-mile-an-hour hit. Nothing too crazy, nothing too special here in Mexico. Okay, so we just did a good 20 pull where you got 1 to 2, 3 to 4. Well, I don't think you got 3 to 4, but you got at least one shift in there on agility mode, and it definitely shifts good. It felt great. I got no real complaints. And this whole TCU, even if it's not so much like a huge performance gain compared to one to the other, a lot of people debate about, maybe you'll get like 0.00 of a quarter mile time better. I don't know, I haven't tested them on the quarter mile yet. But just the whole, driving around and it being the fun factor of it, it does help out with all those 3 modes and making it more fun. And just having the paddles, holy poop, the paddles make the car a lot more fun. Because you could just drive around and just 2 hands on the wheel, no more taking it off to go to the shifter, and just downshift if you want. Downshift, do a nice little pull. And then upshift and upshift. That is another thing that is definitely different. So with my VTEC tune, These weren't as responsive, mainly because I never had paddles. But now with this TCU tune from late model 21, my paddles definitely are way more responsive than they were before. So I'm super happy about that. And if you guys want one of these TCUs, hit up late model 21. You can email him, find him on the forums, find him on Facebook. I'll put all of his information down below. And definitely get one. And when you pair it with the whole paddle conversion kit for your Crossfire, SLK, or C32, it definitely wakes up the car and makes it a lot more fun to drive. Even though it's not adding any more power, it definitely gives the fun feel so much better. So hopefully you guys like this video. Throw a like down, throw a subscribe down, share it with your friends, post it all over. We want to try to build this channel up a little bit more. I am getting more merchandise coming in. I don't know if you guys heard about it. We ordered some shirts, we ordered a few other things. That way just bring a little bit more income to the channel, but hopefully you guys have a great day, and I'll catch you guys later.
Lady versus Swiffer. Swiffer wins.